How do you structure your accent classes?
They are one-on-one. One-on-one private classes, usually for an hour. Sometimes I can do a half hour, but mostly they're hours. And a lot of actors buy packages, so they can come for an hour, or they can come up to 12 hours and buy a package of 12. And if they buy a package of 12, well, then it's cheaper. But it's private. I have done. I've had two students in a class once. They were both from Romania, and they had both come here to the United States at the same time. They were friends in Romania, lived in the same town, came here, and thought they could share the lesson. And I tried to advise them not to do that, but they really wanted to share the lesson. So I thought, all right, come and share the lesson. And the problem was, even though they had both been here at the same time and had the same history, one had learned the American accent better than the other. So while I'm focusing on the one that needed the work more, the other one is sitting there twiddling her thumbs and thinking, well, she's paying for something and she's not getting her money's worth.
Right.
And so it was very frustrating. So when I wanted to move over to the girl who knew it, well, this one, she like, well, I didn't get it yet. I don't know that sound yet. So it was very frustrating, and they didn't do it again. I find doing a group class is okay if you just want the general basics, but you won't get individual attention, and I can't work with a whole group of people and get a pure, really good quality sound from you if I have to deal with, 10 or so people.
So you do one-on-one lessons,
Only.
and how do you assess someone's needs? I mean, do you speak with them for a while to not only determine what their accent is and et cetera, et cetera. Can you talk about that a little
Yeah.
bit?
Well, we talk on the phone at first, and sometimes they don't even. I don't even need to listen to them for too long. If they tell me where they're from, I pretty well know what they're going to do. And the usual suspects are the schwa, or the short U sound, which most people, again, English not being their first language, they spend too much time on. So that's usually a struggle for a lot of people. That is in the word come, come here. So that sound is it's just it's a quick sound, and yet people come here from other lands and they say come here. They spend a lot of time on the sound. So for me to make that a quick sound is tricky.
I believe you.
But my classes are fun. I preface every class with, you're going to have fun. You're going to laugh. Tears will roll down your face, but you will learn. And I get wonderful emails from people saying how much they've learned, and they didn't think they would learn so quickly. But it's the one-on-one that really does it.
So your classes are one-on-one and a lot of laughs.
A lot of laughs. And I also work on Skype.
Oh, yes.
I also work on Skype. Yeah, Skype. So that, you get a private lesson, and it's one-on-one, and you get all the benefits, because I have a small little whiteboard that I can write things out for my students elsewhere. So I have students in Brazil. I have students in South Africa. I have students in Australia, New York, and Boston right now. So I can have classes anywhere. Even if I'm away, I can still have classes.
So, how did you get started being an accent coach? I mean, where did your passion for this come from?
Interestingly enough, someone suggested I do it. An actress friend of mine suggested I do it, because I've been doing it for myself for so long, but I've also been helping other actors, my friends, for free. My passion, I was born in England, moved to Montreal, lived there for a long time, then moved to Toronto, and then moved to LA. So I have just always had this love of accents, and I have a love for language, even though I'm not brilliant with language, but people's sounds to me are just fascinating, because from a person's sound you can figure where they were born, but also what kind of upbringing they had. You can see it in how they walk, how they attack words, how they don't use certain words. You can learn a lot from a person just how they speak. The way I speak, for example, actually belies the truth of who I am, because I actually come from a very working class family, and yet one would never know it, would one? No. So my passion is, you know what? I love helping people. That's really it. I love helping people. And as an actress, I always felt a little self-centered being an actress, even though being an actress is very important because you can make people laugh, and making people laugh is very, very important. You can also convey information to people. So being an actress is important. But for me, I just needed more. And so now that I'm teaching and coaching something that I love, I am just elated because I get to help someone. I help someone's dream come true. Nothing better for me. Nothing better for me than that. Whew, all hot now.
Do you think anyone can be taught an accent?
I do. I do. It might take a little longer for some. Some people have a better ear than others. But I do believe everyone can be taught an accent. Absolutely. It would depend on the accent that they came from and where they want to go, but everyone can learn something. They can amend how they speak. Absolutely. It takes focus, because some people come to me and they think I'm just going to give them a pill and they're going to learn the accent, and within 1 hour I'll be fabulous. But the homework is very important. They have to go home and take the accent, take all the sounds they learned that day, and take that person shopping, take that person to the dry cleaner, use these new sounds, and you can't be shy to use them. And then the next time you come, we'll learn more sounds. So now you have, these many sounds to go to the dry cleaner, go to the movies.
So
keep using it.
I know that you, after an hour session, you'll burn a CD for the student to take with them, and presumably the CD is for the student to work on their own.
Yes, but it's also very interesting. That CD, they get to learn twice. What happens is, and a lot of my students have told me that they're in the room, they're learning, it's all wonderful, but they're not hearing themselves. But when they listen back to the CD, all of a sudden, they can actually hear what they were doing. So when they say, well, no, I wasn't doing that, and now they hear themselves, they were doing that. So they learn twice. It's actually, you learn, it's really 2 lessons for the price of 1.
Mm-hmm.
They really learn twice, and they learn on a deeper level when they play the CD back.
Right, no, that makes sense. Yeah. It was like me when we moved down here. We lived here for a couple of years, and then I went back to Canada, and I suddenly heard a Canadian accent. I had never heard a Canadian accent before, but when you're immersed in something else and you go back, and then it really stands out.
Yeah. And as I said, no one thinks they have an accent. Usually when they leave where they're from and then they go back, is when they hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone says that.